Hello, good morning, and we're here for the Championship fixture between Watford and Blackburn Rovers. Match week 4 of the Championship. A disappointing defeat for Watford last time out at the Bet365 Stadium against Stoke. The performance wasn't quite there, but we've seen in recent games, although we've not been scoring goals recently, there's been a performance, there's been an identity back, and that's been really positive for Valerie and Ismail. But yeah, going into this one, Blackburn, tricky opposition, but they did lose last time out against Hull City, and we'll hope to get the 3 points. I mean, going into it, obviously, we saw Tom Ince make his debut off the bench last time. Didn't look great and struggling to get into the game, but hopefully he can be better if he starts today. Team News probably just been released, but ultimately I'd like to see another impressive performance. I think against Plymouth we actually played better than against QPR, but we just didn't have that killer instinct in the final third. And with the likes of Vacuum Bio not doing as well in the last few games, it's great to see a new number 9 is back in town, and really excited by this guy. It's got to be said, he's got a lot of high praise, his previous times at other clubs, but welcome to the club, Mileta Rajovic. He models his game on Ibrahimovic, so hopefully we can get a bit of that, but let's see if he makes his debut today. Let's see if Ince starts for the first time. But yeah, Jarl Tomlinson's a good manager. They've got some good players, Blackburn. The likes of Scott Wharton, Sam Gallagher up front. But let's hope for the 3 points today. We'll go for Watford to win this by 2-0 with goals from Vacuum Bio, who needs a goal on the 55th minute, and then the finish off the game, Imran Loser on 76 minutes. Come on, you Horns!
Now let's take a look at the Golden Boy side for today. In goal and captain, number 1, Daniel Blackburn.
Hey!
4, Wesley Hoots. 5, Ryan Porteous.
Hey!
11, Ishmael Kone.
Hey!
12, Vince Sema.
Hey!
18, Yasser Spruder.
Hey!
19, Vacuum Bio.
Hey!
24, Tom Bashir.
Hey!
37, Mateus Martins.
Hey!
39, Edo Kayambe.
Hey!
And 45, Ryan Andrews.
Come on, you Horns!
Substitute for the Horns, 26, Ben Hamer. 2, Jeremy Budakia. 7, Tom Ince.
Go on, Incy.
A warm welcome to number 9, Mileta Rajovic.
Go on, Rajovic, my guy. Loser on the bench because he was late to training, apparently. That's the rumour. Late to training. So I like that from Ismail. Stamping down on anyone late. We like that. Even though Imran is my boy.
Until 1979, chalking up 329 appearances, the most famous of which came away to Manchester United as part of an October 78 League Cup giant killing in which he made a stunning and crucial save from Porteous Queen's late header. Please join us now in paying tribute to a true Watford legend with a minute's applause that will begin on the referee's whistle.
One Andy Rankin. There's only one Andy Rankin. Come on Watford, mark up. Oh no. Oh, we got away with that big time.
Porteous, Danny Webber, and our forward captain Neil Cox.
Frustrating so far. Come on, Rajovic! Come on, mate! Get us those goals! Ooh! Ooh! Come on, let's go! It's Rajovic time! Ooh! Go on! Oh. Go on, Rajovic! Come on, Imran. After coming on off the bench at the start of the second half, it's the man you want over a set piece for sure. Come on, Imran. But legend number 9, Rajovic, has come on. So hopefully he can get his noggin on this one. He's so lanky, Rajovic, as you can see. Oh, short free kick. Unlucky, unlucky. Go on. Oh. Come on, Watford. Tom Ince has come on. He's having a little bit of an impact, but a goal would be nice. Still 1-0 Blackburn. Ref! Go on! Go on! Oh! He needs a little bit of look at this, Porteous. He's been epic all game.
And it's finished at Vicarage Road. Watford 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. Oh, such an infuriating afternoon, frustrating. Just didn't quite go to plan today. First half, I have to say, lethargic as anything. It felt like on a Sunday morning we'd rolled out of bed and got the kits on, and it was as much as that. It was just really slow, really lackadaisical, and ultimately not penetrative enough into that Blackburn defence. And look, I have to give credit to Blackburn, because set up defensively they were very solid, very organised and compact in that kind of almost back 4, back 5, but they were just so hard to get past, and Watford didn't help themselves in attack, because attackingly they were really just not on the same wavelength of each other. Some of the passing was just really off in terms of its accuracy, and a lot of the times we would just do way too predictable things in the forward areas of the game. So yeah, ended 1-0. The only goal of the game coming for Blackburn very, very late on, really, and it was a cruel turn of events because it was a really good challenge from Ryan Porteous in the build-up to it. A fantastic game from Ryan Porteous, by far, in my opinion, man of the match today. All game, he was putting in amazing slide tackles, amazing headers and clearances. Talking of clearances, it felt like Blackburn had cleared everything today in defence. So that was just really, really, unfortunate for us, because even when we did get into the box, even when we did have little chances and small half chances, Blackburn cleared everything. But Porteous today, so good in defence. But yeah, he put in a great challenge, and it was just really unfortunate because the ball spilled and it fell for Blackburn. Ryan Hedges on 72 minutes to just kind of finish it home at the back post, and it was a good finish, to be honest. He lifted it over the challenge and then fired it really past Backman, but a tight angle, fair enough, but it's just one of those fortunate moments where, as I say, Blackburn didn't really test Backman before that, and Watford had plenty of chances, 24 shots in the game. It was just one of those days. I mean, I know we said that in the last game against Plymouth, where it just didn't quite click in the final third, but that's 3 games now that we've gone without scoring. Plymouth, a bit of a more disappointing performance against Stoke, admittedly, than today, but still a 1-0 defeat nonetheless, back-to-back now with that game against Stoke and now today. So it really is not good reading for the table. 15th spot, we replace where Blackburn were, and Blackburn shoot up to something like 9th. So it's a bit of a stinger, that one, for the Hornets, and I just hope that we can go into Coventry now. Valérien, there is plenty of green shoots from that game, but the main problem is goals, and we are struggling with scoring the goals. But the main man, the new man, number 9, has come in this week, and he made his debut after just coming through the doors, and he looked okay, Mileta Rajovic, but he does have a lot to learn. I think it's a championship season, it's always tricky, it's physical, and he does look a very tall player, so good for aerial duels and set pieces. But in terms of his build and his strength, he needs to work on that and be better at holding up the ball. But at times today, I thought he made some good runs off the ball when he came on. He came on, of course, for Vacuum Bio, who, I'll be honest, looked really low on confidence yet again. And, he did score on the opening day, but since then, after, he scored 2-2 after the Stevenage game in the Carabao Cup, he's just not looked the same player, and he's just low on confidence. And so I hope that, Rajovic starts the next game up at the Coventry Stadium, because the way I look at it is we need players that are confident, and we need players that are fit and firing and ready to go, and I don't think Bio is that right now. Interestingly, the team news, we did see a loser start on the bench. It looks a bit of an odd one if you don't know the context behind that, but he was, unfortunately for him, late to a training session, and so he was basically given that as a punishment on the bench, which is really encouraging to see, in my opinion, because some managers, maybe even former Watford managers, wouldn't have necessarily done that and might have looked past it or kind of let him off. But it's great to see that Valérien, as much as he has that mentality in the dressing room and he's got that kind of arm around the shoulder, he also can be cruel to be kind when he needs to be. And it's important that he kind of maintains those standards throughout the team, that they arrive on time for training. They've got to have these standards to set, and it's good to see that in the kind of mentality. So I'm happy that's the case, but obviously that meant that Loser's not starting for us, which is always a negative, because he does just open up the game so much in that midfield. And he did come on in the second half after the first half break, so he came on. We took off. I think in the first half, Ismail Kone didn't quite get the pulses racing, but he was okay, I thought. He had some decent points in the game, but, coming in today for the start, Kone hadn't been favoured at the start of the season over Deli Bashiru. But, yeah, Deli Bashiru started again today, and, I thought he was quite solid. The thing for me is that the problems are the goals, and I just hope that Rajovic does provide those. I mean, it was
it was just a counter-attack for that Blackburn goal, and you think, you know, we were on top for a lot of it, and you just think it was maybe a bit of an unlucky day today, because Matheus Martins, as well as Porteous, Martins is up there for best player of the day. I think Porteous just about tops it, but Martins so unlucky in the first half. That effort, what a wonderful strike, curling, bending, absolutely no hope for the Blackburn keeper. You know, he's trying to dive for it, Piers, but he's not getting there for sure, and it's hit the crossbar. What would have been a worldie, probably goal of the season contender. And then in the second half again, another chance for Martins, and another time he hits the woodwork. So it's very desperately unlucky after the touch that it got onto the woodwork from the keeper, Piers. But look, Andrews today, I thought played okay, to be honest. He struggled at points in the game, just with kind of tracking back. But in terms of going forward, what he offers, he does look good. And, you know, at one point he got absolutely scythed down. He made a good run, and we were worried he was going to be injured. But yeah, rightly, there was a booking that was brandished for Blackburn and for Dominic Hyam. But look, he does have licence to go forward, and he did get subbed off for Ngakia, Andrews. But, you know, he started the game. I didn't expect him to start really on that right-hand side, but we had kind of Sema playing as the left back. Because what we had was Martins out on that left-hand side, then Asprilla kind of more filling in on the right, and it was a bit more of a changed system when Ince came on, because then Martins moved out and stayed on that left-hand side, and Ince on the right. So interesting. Obviously, early on in the season, it was Sema playing that left wing, and we had obviously fit left backs then, like Morris, who Morris obviously didn't play today, and also we're still waiting on Jamal Lewis to come back and be fit. So bit of a worry there that we haven't got enough left backs really, but ultimately Sema did okay today, I think, in that role, and then he kind of pushed forward, but he did look a little bit off it generally, Sema, today. I thought, you know, a few of the passes were a bit wayward, and you know, so a few times he got the ball and you think, just drive at the opposition, you're so good at that, get to the byline, but he just decided to pass backwards, and it was just a bit frustrating. But I've got to say, Porteous today, just colossal every single time, and so unfortunate with the goal. You know, great challenge, but we can't expect everyone in that defence to be bailed out by Porteous. One of the other defenders should have got there first and stopped Ryan Hedges from getting that goal. I thought Wesley Hoot had an okay game. Ultimately he was booked, which was a bit harsh, I thought, at the time. It didn't look like a massively yellow card, but the referee did go for it. Yeah, he was pretty solid most of the time, but it was just caught out a few times you know, in the counter attacks, but there really wasn't many of those from Blackburn. As I said, we were on top for a lot of it. Deli Bashiru, okay. Kayembe, I thought it was him coming in, and I kind of expected him to really take the game by the scruff of the neck. I didn't really feel that. Whenever he got the ball, Kayembe, he was pretty casual and pretty slow on the ball, and it did slow us down in our attacks. So that was only one negative for Kayembe, but Kone was okay. You know, just I think with Kone, he's got good spells in the game, but it's sustaining it for 90 minutes, and obviously did get subbed off in the game. Did a Kone for loser at half time. We also brought on Chakvedadze for Dave Bashiru, and I think Chakvedadze always looks great when he comes on. He does try to impact the game, and he made quite a few good runs. It was just, there was a few times where you thought Rajovic and Chakvedadze, they weren't quite on the same wavelength. Rajovic had a chance, he could have, you know, passed to Chakvedadze, but yeah, it was unlucky, and I thought Chakvedadze looked bright yet again, but maybe he's you know, worth a start, because we do need someone out in that kind of wing to get the crosses in, because although Martins looked brilliant today and he was so unlucky to not score, his crossing, Martins, was really left to be desired, so I think Chakvedadze would be much better at that. Then Asprilla, I thought Asprilla was one of our better players today. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion, but I thought what he offers us is so good, and you know, he's used to playing more centrally, but he started on the right for us today in a kind of 4-3-3, and at times he played some lovely through balls, especially there was one actually for Rajovic when he came on. Really nice from Asprilla, just threaded it through, and you think, yeah, go on Rajovic, attack that, but he just got pushed out a bit wide, and it didn't quite open up for a chance to shoot. So yeah, I was happy with Asprilla today. Obviously he was subbed off by Ismail for Ince, and then of course we talked about him just earlier, but Rajovic, I mean, I think what he does offer us is a target man, but I just hope he's one of those poachers. We need a goal poacher because we haven't had that really since Troy, and you know, it's a big responsibility, big pressure, that number 9 shirt, but I'm hoping he can just take it in his stride and do well with it. So yeah, just a few unnecessary bookings, Loser, Andrews, etc., but generally a good performance. Just frustrating that we didn't up the tempo really in the first half. It was a lot of sideward passing, not a lot going on, and not really enough tempo to our game. The second half it did improve, at least there was more energy, but even then in the second half there was just not enough for us to really, you know, have loads of shots on target. Yes, there were shots, but we didn't test Piers enough, other than, you know, the times it hit the post and things like that. So yeah, frustrating one today, I think. You know, there was a few antics towards the end from Blackburn. That's fair enough, I guess. If it was shoes on the other foot, we'd have done the same. But 1-0 up, you know, the likes of Rankin Costello just stupidly, you know, wasting time. He got booked, fortunately, but you know, the likes of Moran at the end came on, and Gallagher came on. I was a bit worried about Sam Gallagher, but he didn't score in the end. It was just, I think he might have been involved in the build-up that led up to that goal from Hedges. So yeah, we go ahead into the next week and just hope for a bit more clarity about how we're going to get the goals, because there is a solid unit there. There's a solid team. Got to give a shout out to the girls, the Golden Girls, who did start their championship season as well today at 12 o'clock against Durham. A decent result actually, not an easy place to go, Durham, but a 1-1 draw there. So hopefully they can do well this season. It's going to be a tough one, but with the likes of Michelle Adjumang and Carly Johns in as a replacement for Helen Ward, then hopefully they can secure safety in that competitive championship for the women's game. So yeah, hope you have enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.